Before 2026 arrives, pause for a moment. Not to plan, not to rush, not to pile more onto an already crowded life, but to notice something most people never stop to examine. What is quietly draining your energy, your focus, and your inner strength? Power does not disappear in one dramatic collapse. It leaks. It leaks in the way you speak to yourself when no one is around. It leaks through routines you keep tolerating, through habits that appear harmless on the surface. It leaks through the people you allow to shape your thinking without realizing it. And because these leaks are subtle, most people never see them. They add more motivation, more self-help, more effort, yet nothing changes. Because the issue was never a lack of effort. The issue is what they continue to carry, what no longer serves them. You may feel resistance even hearing this, and that is normal. What drains you is often familiar, comfortable, and socially accepted. It holds a quiet, unnoticed control over your life. And yet, this is the first thing you must face if you want to step into 2026 stronger, clearer, and more in command than ever before. This audiobook is an invitation, a call to observe where your energy actually goes, to recognize the subtle habits, thoughts, and attachments that weigh you down, and to remove them with deliberate intention. Not as punishment, not in pursuit of perfection, but to reclaim what already belongs to you, your focus, your confidence, your authority over your own life. Most people live in constant reaction. They respond to notifications, opinions, expectations, and social pressure. They chase approval, distraction, and short-lived validation. Without realizing it, they drain themselves, pursuing momentary recognition instead of building real strength. Here is the hard truth. You cannot gain clarity by doing more. You cannot reclaim power by seeking more validation, more approval, more comfort. Real transformation begins with subtraction, with cutting away, with letting go of what no longer belongs in your life. In the chapters ahead, we will explore 9 things that silently drain your power. Each one is a pattern, a habit, or a mindset that, when left unchecked, slowly erodes your confidence, focus, and energy. We will examine them honestly, guided by clarity and stoic reflection. You will learn why they weaken you and how to remove them from your life in practical, actionable ways. As you listen, you may experience discomfort. That is a sign of awareness. The mind resists change at first. The heart clings to familiarity, even when it causes harm. But discomfort is the training ground where inner strength is built. Every moment you resist holding on to what drains you, you reclaim power. This audiobook is designed to guide you slowly and deliberately. We begin with reflection, move into principles, and then into exercises you can apply immediately. Each chapter offers clarity, real examples, and steps to help you stop leaking power and start reclaiming it. Before 2026, you have a choice. Carry the same weight into another year, or step into the new year lighter, stronger, and fully in control of your energy. The choice is simple, but it is not easy. It demands awareness, it demands honesty, it demands action. By the end of this audiobook, you will understand not only what to cut, but why. You will have a clear path to reclaiming your power, and you will be ready to enter 2026 with intention, focus, and authority over your own life. Power is not given, power is not borrowed, power is reclaimed, and that begins now. Chapter 1. Cut the need for external validation. The fastest way to lose your power is to give it away without even noticing. Every time you seek approval from someone else, you hand over control of your emotions. A like on social media, a nod of agreement from a colleague, a compliment that makes you feel temporarily worthy. Even well-meaning praise can quietly condition you to depend on it. It trains you to perform instead of live. You begin choosing what looks acceptable instead of what feels true. You adjust your behavior to be accepted, not aligned. Your confidence becomes fragile. Your energy is no longer fully yours. Every hesitation, every decision shaped by someone else's opinion reinforces the truth that your inner authority has been surrendered. Most people never recognize this pattern. They believe validation motivates them. They chase applause, recognition, and acknowledgement, convinced these things will make them strong. But the more they chase, the further they drift from their real power. When your sense of worth depends on how others perceive you, your emotional state becomes unstable. One negative remark can outweigh weeks of effort and discipline. You feel smaller, uncertain, and reactive. Here is the truth. Powerful people do not reject feedback. They do not ignore advice or insight. They simply do not need permission to act. Their worth is defined internally, not granted by others. Their focus remains steady even when criticism or judgment surrounds them. They speak and act in alignment with their values, not someone else's expectations. Their decisions are guided by clarity, not by applause. So what can you do starting today? Begin by becoming aware of the moments when your choices are shaped by a need for approval. Pause before agreeing to something that does not align with your priorities. Ask yourself honestly, am I acting because this feels right, or because someone might approve of me? Practice small daily exercises. Pause before reacting to praise or criticism. Notice whether external validation is steering your next move. Respond with clarity rather than performance. Write down one decision you make today purely for alignment, without concern for how it will be perceived. Another step is to examine your social and professional circles. Notice whose opinions carry excessive weight in your mind, who subtly drains your confidence simply by existing in your awareness. Begin setting boundaries, not from resentment, but from necessity. You are reclaiming something that has been quietly borrowed from you for years. Your inner dialogue matters. Every time you surrender to self-doubt because of someone else's judgment, you strengthen an old pattern. Instead, cultivate self-validation. Affirm your decisions privately, without an audience. Measure progress by your own standards, not by the approval of others. Power does not require applause. Respect is not dependent on validation. Confidence is built internally, earned through consistency, and protected daily. Picture your life before 2026. You wake up lighter, free from the constant urge to please. Each decision is intentional, aligned with your direction. Your energy remains intact. Your attention belongs to you. Your mind is clear. Your actions carry weight because they are grounded in self-trust. Before 2026, cut the need for external validation. Notice it, question it, release it. Stand firm in your own authority, not because someone else expects it, not because you were told to, but because it is yours. Your approval is the only one that truly matters. Claim it, protect it, never give it away. Chapter 2. Cut emotional reactivity. One of the quietest drains on your power is uncontrolled emotion. It appears when you least expect it: a sharp comment, a negative remark, an unexpected disappointment. In those moments, the instinct is to react, to defend, to justify, to explain. And in that instant, your power slips away. Most people believe reacting is natural, even necessary. They say, "I'm just being honest," or "I can't help it, that's how I feel." But here is the truth. Feeling is not the same as reacting. You are not your emotions, and you are not your reactions. Emotions are signals, not commands. They alert you that something is happening internally. They guide and inform you, but they do not control your actions unless you allow them to. The strength of calm authority exists in the space between stimulus and response. That pause, that breath, That moment where you observe what is happening inside without letting it dictate your next move. Think of a moment from your own life. Someone criticizes you unfairly. Your heart accelerates, your thoughts ignite. You feel the urge to respond immediately, to defend yourself. Most people act. They reply, they argue, they react. In doing so, they surrender control. They become captive to their impulses, and what they believed would protect them only drains them further. Instead, practice awareness. Notice the emotional signal. Name it. Breathe. Hold for 3 slow beats. Ask yourself, what is this feeling showing me? Do I need to act, or can I choose my response? What outcome do I want from this situation? This is emotional discipline, not suppression, not denial, not avoidance. It is observation. It is choice. It is mastery. When you cut emotional reactivity, you reclaim energy. You save time. You protect relationships from unnecessary damage. You make clearer decisions. Daily exercises matter. Pause before replying to messages that trigger frustration. Take a deep breath before responding to criticism. Journal for 5 minutes about moments when you acted impulsively and how you could respond differently. Practice small delays, even in ordinary interactions. Wait an extra second before speaking. Over time, this becomes a pattern, a new default. Your emotions inform you without controlling you. Your responses become intentional rather than instinctive. Your energy is preserved. Your authority expands. Imagine entering 2026 with this skill. Every interaction measured, every decision deliberate, every conflict met with clarity instead of agitation. Cutting emotional reactivity does not mean becoming cold. It means becoming intentional. It means allowing your values and judgment to guide your actions, not your impulses. Before 2026, commit to this discipline. Observe, pause, choose. Each moment you resist the urge to react immediately, you reclaim a piece of your power. Those pieces accumulate. Every choice strengthens your inner authority. Feel fully, then choose your next move with purpose. This is where real control begins. Chapter 3. Cut constant distractions. Distractions are silent thieves of power. They arrive quietly, often unnoticed, yet they steal your focus minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. Every notification, every open browser tab, every email you feel compelled to check, every social scroll you justify as a short break. These are subtle drains on your energy and authority. They are familiar, they are convenient, and because they seem harmless, most people tolerate them, unaware of the cumulative damage they cause to productivity, clarity, and inner calm. Picture your day. You sit down to focus on one important task. Your phone vibrates, you glance at it. 10 minutes later, you are replying to messages, checking notifications, opening feeds. The task you intended to complete drifts further away. This is not occasional, it is habitual, and the more you allow these interruptions, the more fragmented your mind becomes. Your attention thins, your decision-making weakens, your energy disperses. What you believed was harmless leisure quietly erodes your ability to act precisely, to follow through, and to create meaningful results. Most people defend distractions with excuses. I need to stay connected. I deserve a break. It's only a few minutes. The truth is, habitual distractions are addictive. They hijack the brain's reward system, offering small bursts of stimulation that mask the slow depletion of focus and resolve. Each micro-interruption compounds, quietly stealing hours, mental energy, and confidence. Distractions appear in many forms. Some are obvious, others subtle. Social media and constant notifications are visible drains, others are less apparent. Multitasking across projects, engaging in gossip, absorbing drama, remaining in environments that constantly divide your attention. Even repetitive worries and habitual thoughts that pull you away from your priorities are distractions. They may feel normal, but they are no less damaging. Every moment spent on what does not serve you is a moment taken from purposeful action. So how do you regain control? Begin by auditing your environment and habits. Identify the triggers that pull your attention unnecessarily. Notice which devices, apps, sites, and interactions repeatedly disrupt your focus. Observe your own patterns. When do you reach for your phone without intention? When do you scroll automatically? Awareness is the first step to mastery. Once you identify your primary distractions, take deliberate action. Silence non-essential notifications. Create boundaries around social media, email, and messaging. Schedule specific times for information intake and protect your focus time from interruption. Create a workspace that supports deep concentration. Clear your desk of anything unnecessary. Reduce visual clutter and shape an environment that minimizes the temptation to drift. When possible, distance yourself from people or settings that pull your attention into unproductive patterns. Daily practices can strengthen this discipline. Schedule focused work blocks and commit fully to the task in front of you. Step away from your phone or place it in another room. Close every browser tab that is not essential. Track the beginning and end of each focus session, noting whether your attention stayed present or wandered. At the end of the day, reflect. Where did your focus leak? Where did you give away energy without realizing it? Cutting distractions is not about removing all stimulation. It is about conscious choice. Decide what deserves your attention and release what does not. Guard your mind as you would protect your most valuable resource. Every act of defending your focus strengthens your inner authority and reinforces your ability to act with intention. Gradually, your mind sharpens into a powerful instrument, your decisions become clearer, your work gains depth, your energy remains intact. Before 2026, commit to this practice. Notice where your attention is being pulled unnecessarily. Reduce, eliminate, and focus. Set firm boundaries with devices, social media, and non-essential interactions. Reclaim your time, your energy, and your clarity. Over time, these deliberate choices compound. Moments of uninterrupted focus build into hours, weeks, and months of heightened productivity and mental clarity. Visualize your life with disciplined attention. Each day, you approach tasks with full presence. You complete what matters. You are not reactive. You are intentional. Your energy is preserved. Your attention belongs to you. Distractions no longer control your pace or your emotional state. Your mind operates with precision. Your actions carry weight, and your life aligns with your priorities. You become someone whose presence commands respect, not through force, but through focused mastery. Every conscious choice strengthens your authority and inner calm, shaping the life you intend to create. Cutting constant distractions is the gateway to reclaiming your time and your power. It requires awareness, deliberate action, and consistency. This is not optional. Protecting your focus is foundational to becoming the person you aim to be, capable of acting with clarity and authority in every situation. As you step into 2026, do so lighter, stronger, and fully present, free from the silent drains that have quietly taken your energy for too long. Chapter 4. Cut negative self-talk. The way you speak to yourself shapes the quality of your life. Every thought you allow influences your actions, your confidence, and your energy. Negative self-talk is a subtle thief. It erodes confidence, drains motivation, and quietly weakens your authority over your own life. You are not good enough. You will never succeed. I am too weak for this. These thoughts may seem brief, harmless, or even realistic, Repeated daily, they condition you to doubt yourself. They form invisible restraints that limit your potential. Most people accept negative self-talk as truth. They call it realism or honesty. They repeat these phrases unconsciously. With each repetition, they train themselves to hesitate, to underperform, to defer. The issue is not an occasional doubt or moment of fear. The issue is allowing these thoughts to become default, to shape decisions, to control reactions, to color how you see every opportunity. Strong individuals do not deny fear or doubt. They acknowledge it, observe it, and act deliberately despite it. They do not let internal dialogue sabotage their potential. So how do you cut negative self-talk? Start by noticing it. Pay attention to the inner voice that comments on your ability, your worth, or your choices. Write it down. Identify recurring patterns. Understand this clearly. Thoughts are not commands. They are signals. They only gain power when you grant it. Next, challenge them. Ask yourself, is this true? Does this serve me? What evidence supports it, and what evidence contradicts it? Replace exaggeration with clarity. Replace judgment with observation. If a thought drains you, it is not serving you. Release it. Daily practices reinforce this discipline. Journal for 5 minutes each morning. Notice negative thoughts and rewrite them into constructive alternatives. Speak to yourself aloud in calm, assertive language. I am capable. I am learning. I am enough. Pause before acting on self-judgment. Reflect instead of reacting. Record yourself reading affirmations and replay them during the day to reinforce the new pattern. Consider your environment as well. Negative self-talk intensifies around critical voices, toxic interactions, or unsupportive feedback. Limit exposure to people, media, or conversations that reinforce doubt. Choose environments that challenge you constructively, encourage growth, and reinforce self-respect. Visualization is another powerful tool. Imagine responding to challenges without internal criticism. See yourself acting decisively, speaking clearly, and moving through the day without unnecessary self-judgment. The more vividly you imagine this, the more your mind adopts a new default. Cutting negative self-talk does not mean becoming arrogant, detached, or emotionless. It means reclaiming authority over your thoughts, choosing words that strengthen rather than diminish, and cultivating a mind that supports intentional action. As you move toward 2026, visualize yourself free from habitual inner criticism. Your decisions are deliberate, your focus is steady, your energy is preserved. You approach challenges with clarity. You measure success by your own standards, not by fear-driven narratives. Cutting negative self-talk is an act of self-respect. It is reclaiming power that was surrendered to habitual doubt and judgment. Practice daily. Observe your thoughts, challenge them, replace them. Your mind is your most important tool. Protect it, sharpen it, command it. Before 2026, commit to this practice. Notice when your inner voice diminishes your potential. Question it, reframe it. Replace it with clarity, strength, and constructive guidance. Each day you do this, your confidence grows. Each day, your presence carries more weight. Each day, you move closer to the person you intend to become. Your inner dialogue no longer drains you. It empowers you. Your mind becomes your ally. Your energy returns to you. Your life aligns with your intentions. Chapter 5. Cut relationships that drain you. The people you allow into your life determine the weight you carry each day. Not all relationships are equal. Some add energy, support, and clarity. Others take, criticize, and diminish. Most people tolerate the latter because it feels familiar, convenient, or socially expected. These draining relationships erode you quietly. They do not always announce themselves through conflict or obvious hostility. They show up as constant criticism, passive aggression, envy, or persistent negativity. They chip away at confidence, introduce doubt, and consume emotional energy without your awareness. Think of the colleague who undermines your ideas under the label of feedback. The friend who only appears when they need something. The family member who focuses on your shortcomings instead of your growth. At first, it seems manageable. You tell yourself it is just their nature. It is not serious. But each interaction leaves a residue, a small drop in confidence, a subtle rise in stress, a distraction from your focus. Over time, these moments accumulate, weakening your authority, clarity, and inner calm. Many justify this tolerance with loyalty or obligation. They preserve harmony at the cost of personal power. They compromise boundaries, standards, and time. They trade growth for the illusion of stability. Strong individuals do not end relationships out of anger or ego. They do it because they understand that energy is finite. Their focus, attention, and emotional capacity are valuable resources. Protecting them is not selfish. It is intentional. It is strategic. It is an act of self-respect. So how do you recognize relationships that drain you? Start with awareness. Pay attention to how you feel after interactions. Do you feel energized, inspired, and clear, or do you feel depleted, anxious, frustrated, or filled with self-doubt? The answer reveals whether the connection supports you or diminishes you. Reflect on recurring patterns. Is this person consistently critical without offering support? Do they create drama or tension that pulls your attention away from what matters? Do they encourage growth, or do they reinforce comfort and stagnation? Next, establish boundaries. Boundaries are not walls that block connection. They are declarations of intent. They define what you will accept and what you will not. You can interact with others respectfully while still protecting your energy. You can limit exposure to draining behavior without hostility or conflict. Practical steps help you begin. Reduce the frequency of interactions with individuals who consistently exhaust you. Redirect conversations away from gossip or negativity. Politely decline requests that clash with your values or priorities. Surround yourself with people who challenge you constructively, support growth, and respect your boundaries. Consider journaling after difficult interactions to identify triggers and strengthen clarity. Cutting relationships that drain you does not mean abandoning empathy or compassion. It does not mean becoming cold or detached. It means recognizing the value of your energy, your focus, and your mental space. It means shaping a life where growth is supported, not undermined. Think about your life before 2026. Imagine waking each day without carrying emotional weight imposed by others. Imagine making decisions without manipulation, guilt, or unsolicited opinions pulling you off course. Imagine focusing fully on your priorities, free from the drain of unhealthy relationships. This process can feel uncomfortable. People may resist your boundaries. They may question your loyalty, your intentions, or your values. This is normal. Growth always disrupts familiarity. Your responsibility is not to please everyone. It is to protect your clarity, confidence, and energy. Daily practices reinforce this habit. At the end of each day, reflect on interactions that left you feeling drained. Identify the cause. Practice asserting boundaries calmly and clearly. Use neutral, respectful language to maintain dignity while preserving energy. Prioritize relationships that encourage growth. Invest time and attention in those who inspire, support, and challenge you in healthy ways. Create a boundary checklist for recurring situations, triggers, responses, and actions to maintain control. Remember, Cutting draining relationships is not a single decision. It is an ongoing practice of discernment, reflection, and alignment. It requires courage to place your energy above convenience or obligation. It requires honesty to admit that some connections, no matter how familiar, no longer serve you. And it requires consistency to uphold boundaries until they become the natural structure of your life. As you move toward 2026, carry this clarity with you. Your relationships will reflect your values, your energy will remain yours, your focus will stay intact, your life will be designed, not dictated by the emotional patterns of others. Cutting draining relationships is a declaration of self-respect. It is reclaiming power that has been quietly taken for too long. It is essential to living with intention, authority, and calm strength. Do this before 2026. Commit to it daily. Your energy, your clarity, and your life will expand accordingly. Chapter 6. Cut the habit of over-explaining. Over-explaining is one of the quietest ways people surrender power. It often begins with good intentions. You want to be understood. You want to help. You want to avoid conflict. You fear judgment or misunderstanding, so you keep talking. You elaborate, you clarify, you justify, you add detail after detail, believing each explanation strengthens your position. In reality, over-explaining does the opposite. It dilutes authority. It weakens presence. It signals insecurity instead of confidence. It reveals uncertainty where strength should exist. Most people are unaware of how often they over-explain. It shows up in meetings, conversations, and casual exchanges. It appears in emails, presentations, and simple answers. The habit becomes automatic, a default response to perceived scrutiny. Over-explaining is rooted in the belief that others' opinions define your worth. It is the same mechanism behind the need for external validation. When you feel compelled to justify your choices, you give away control. Your focus shifts from purpose to performance. Strong individuals do not over-explain. They communicate with clarity and restraint. They let their words, actions, and results speak. They do not fear misunderstanding because they trust their judgment. They do not rely on approval or explanation to establish credibility. To break this habit, start with awareness. Notice when you feel the urge to justify yourself unnecessarily. Ask, is this explanation required? Am I clarifying for understanding or soothing insecurity? Will this detail strengthen the outcome or drain energy? Once you notice it, practice restraint. Speak intentionally. Choose words with precision. Allow pauses to create space. Let silence carry meaning where words add nothing. Daily exercises reinforce this shift. In conversations or meetings, limit your explanation to a single sentence, then pause. Observe before adding more. Write emails and reports with brevity as the goal. Remove unnecessary justification. Before speaking, ask yourself, does this need to be said, or can it be implied? Over-explaining also happens internally. You may rehearse conversations repeatedly in your mind, justifying decisions before they occur. This mental overextension drains focus and energy. To counter it, practice mental discipline. Clarify your key message. Commit to saying only what is necessary. What you must accept is this: you cannot control perception, only action. When you reduce over-explaining, relationships, work, and daily interactions improve naturally. People begin to respect your words because they carry clarity and authority. Decisions remain yours, no longer diluted by the need to convince or appease. Your presence becomes more commanding because it is rooted in trust. Trust in your judgment, trust in your preparation, trust in yourself. Consider your life before 2026. Imagine interactions where your words are few but meaningful, where explanations are intentional, not defensive. where silence communicates just as powerfully as speech, where people listen not because you justify yourself repeatedly, but because your presence holds weight. Cutting the habit of over-explaining is an act of self-respect. It demands honesty to recognize when the habit appears, discipline to restrain the impulse, courage to allow understanding to form without trying to control every perception. Daily reinforcement strengthens this practice. Observe how you communicate in real time. Pause before speaking. Say only what clarifies what is essential. Let results and actions speak louder than words. When practiced consistently, your energy is preserved. Your clarity sharpens, your authority stabilizes. The less you explain unnecessarily, the more weight each word carries. The more intentional your communication, the stronger your presence and influence become. Before 2026, commit to cutting this habit. Notice the urge to over-justify. Limit words to what is necessary. Trust that clarity and action speak louder than explanation. Reclaim the authority you unknowingly give away each time you over-explain. Your mind grows lighter, your energy sharper, your presence stronger, your life aligns with intention. And within that alignment, you rediscover a power that has always been yours, quietly waiting to be recognized, protected, and exercised. Chapter 7. Cut comfort that kills growth. Comfort is seductive. It speaks softly in quiet moments, promising ease, safety, and pleasure. It convinces you that staying within familiar patterns is wise. It suggests that avoiding discomfort shields you from risk, failure, or rejection. Most people mistake comfort for reward. They choose routines that require minimal effort. They stay in environments that feel safe. They gravitate toward tasks that are easy to complete. They surround themselves with people who reassure rather than challenge. At first, comfort feels harmless. It offers temporary relief from stress and uncertainty. It softens the sharp edges of life. It creates the illusion of stability. But comfort becomes dangerous when it turns into default, when it dictates decisions, actions, and mindset. It quietly erodes ambition, weakens focus, and dulls resilience. It lulls you into stagnation. It blocks the growth that only challenge can produce. Growth and comfort cannot coexist. Each time you choose comfort over challenge, you surrender a fraction of your potential. Each time you avoid discomfort, you postpone mastery. Every hard choice avoided is an opportunity lost. Every easy path taken is strength left unearned. Think of a moment when you avoided a difficult conversation, delayed an important task, or skipped a demanding workout. Comfort offered brief relief, yet afterward you felt heavier, less capable, less in control. Discomfort is a training ground for the mind, body, and spirit. It builds patience. It sharpens decision-making. It develops resilience. It forms character capable of handling pressure, rejection, and adversity. Most people avoid discomfort because it feels unpleasant in the moment. They fear judgment, failure, or uncertainty. They forget that the reward lies beyond the initial struggle. They confuse ease with safety. They mistake familiarity for progress. To cut comfort, begin by recognizing its patterns. Observe your daily routines. Where do you choose ease instead of intention? Which behaviors repeat because they are simple, familiar, or safe? Which people, places, or activities provide comfort at the cost of growth? Once identified, disrupt these patterns deliberately. Introduce challenge with purpose. Seek experiences that stretch your capacity and test your limits. This may be physical, waking early, pushing through demanding training, practicing difficult skills. It may be mental, tackling complex work, learning unfamiliar concepts, questioning long-held beliefs. It may be emotional, having difficult conversations, expressing uncomfortable truths, embracing vulnerability. Daily practices reinforce this discipline. Schedule one uncomfortable task each day and complete it fully. Choose activities that challenge your routine or comfort zone. Reflect each evening. Where did I choose ease over growth? What could I have done differently? Journal your progress. Notice how discomfort strengthens resilience, clarity, and confidence. Cutting comfort does not mean seeking pain recklessly. It is not about punishment or excess. It is about making deliberate choices that stretch capacity, strengthen discipline, and refine skill. It is prioritizing long-term growth over short-term ease. Imagine your life before 2026. A life where challenge is welcomed instead of avoided, where discomfort is understood as the path to strength, where each action contributes to growth, resilience, and mastery. Comfort destroys growth when it masks avoidance. Every compromise with ease reduces potential. Every habitual choice of simple over-demanding weakens authority, focus, and energy. To counter this, structure your life to include discomfort intentionally. Set clear goals that require effort, patience, and persistence. Place yourself in situations that demand problem-solving under pressure. Accept tasks you may fail at initially, but that will build skill and resilience. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, not just affirm you. The shift begins in perception. See discomfort as an ally, not an enemy. Understand that growth is inherently uncomfortable. Reframe struggle as opportunity. Recognize that reward always exists beyond resistance. Over time, this practice strengthens character. Decisions grow bolder, execution becomes sharper, presence becomes grounded and commanding. The energy once consumed by fear, avoidance, and hesitation is reclaimed for focused, deliberate action. Cutting comfort also requires environmental design. Remove options that encourage ease and inaction. Create systems that push you toward challenge rather than retreat. Structure your days with high-value, high-effort work. Reduce trivial distractions that offer comfort without progress. Daily reflection multiplies results. Ask yourself, where did I default to ease today? Where did I choose discomfort for growth? What avoidance patterns must be broken? How will this challenge strengthen my discipline, mindset, or skill? Every deliberate step into discomfort builds resilience. Every task completed despite resistance reinforces inner authority. Every challenge accepted expands your capacity to act, lead, and endure. Before 2026, commit to cutting comfort where it limits growth. Recognize its seductive voice, challenge its influence, choose actions that stretch, teach, and strengthen. Life may not become easier, but it will become stronger. The moment may feel heavier, but resilience, confidence, and authority will expand. Your actions will carry weight. Your presence will command respect. Your energy will be reserved for what truly matters. Practice daily, this discipline compounds into transformation. You will enter 2026 with the clarity, confidence, and strength that only deliberate engagement with challenge can create. You will no longer be ruled by ease or habit. You will become someone capable of sustaining growth, discipline, and mastery through every condition, discomfort included. Cut comfort that kills growth. Embrace deliberate challenge. Step beyond what feels safe. Your life, your energy, and your authority depend on it. Chapter 8. Cut comparison with others. Comparison is a quiet thief of confidence. It enters subtly. A friend sharing an achievement online. A colleague receiving recognition you thought you earned. Someone else's progress appearing faster, brighter, or easier than your own. Most people react without awareness. They measure themselves against others. They feel inadequate when someone seems ahead. They grow frustrated when their progress feels slower. Their emotional state becomes controlled by external benchmarks instead of their own path. Comparison is dangerous because it pulls attention outward. You stop evaluating your life by your priorities. You begin chasing metrics that do not align with your purpose. Energy is wasted monitoring others instead of acting with intention. When comparison becomes habitual, clarity erodes. Decisions are questioned. Focus weakens. What matters most becomes blurred. You forget that every journey is shaped by different circumstances, experiences, and timing. The mind turns into a battleground of envy, doubt, and distraction. Progress slows when attention is fixed on external measures of success rather than internal standards of growth. Most people underestimate how deeply comparison affects them. They label it motivation, inspiration, or awareness. But if observing someone else's life triggers insecurity or self-doubt, it is not motivating, it is draining. It is a quiet surrender of power. To cut comparison, start with awareness. Notice when you measure yourself against others. Observe emotional responses, envy, frustration, shame, or doubt. Ask yourself, does this comparison help my growth? Does it provide insight or drain my energy? Am I learning or am I judging myself unfairly? Then redirect focus inward. Measure progress against your own standards. Track consistency, effort, and growth without referencing anyone else. Acknowledge milestones that matter to you. Anchor self-worth in discipline and effort, not in outcomes you do not control. Daily practices reinforce this shift. Journal your progress each evening. Record achievements, lessons, and improvements. Reduce exposure to sources that fuel unhealthy comparison. Social media, unproductive conversations, or competitive environments that breed insecurity. When comparison arises, redirect immediately to action. Ask, what can I do today that aligns with my goals? Visualize your path as distinct and valuable. Remind yourself that progress is rarely linear and timing is never equal. Comparison also drains energy when it turns into judgment toward others. Criticism and envy waste focus and reinforce negativity. Replace judgment with respect and curiosity. Observe what others do well and learn without self-attack. Their success does not reduce your potential. Use it to refine habits and strategies rather than fuel emotion. Cutting comparison is an act of self-mastery. It means accepting that the only meaningful measure of progress is alignment with purpose, effort, and intention. It restores mental space for focus, creativity, and deliberate execution. It protects energy that would otherwise leak into doubt or distraction. Imagine entering 2026 free from habitual comparison. Mornings begin with clarity instead of anxiety. Decisions are rooted in values, not reactions to others. Energy is invested in work that matters, growth that matters, and relationships that matter. You pursue goals on your timeline, in your way, without judgment. Comparison creates emotional turbulence by exploiting insecurity. You can feel behind even while moving forward steadily. The mind compares selectively, highlighting only visible success while hiding struggle and failure. This distorted lens intensifies doubt. Awareness breaks this pattern. What you see is never the full picture. Their achievements are not your shortcomings. Your journey stands on its own, complete and valid. Practical methods reinforce this discipline. Schedule daily reflection, record accomplishments, lessons, and next steps. Stay anchored to your path. When consuming media or scrolling, pause and ask, does this inspire or drain me? Limit exposure accordingly. Practice gratitude deliberately. List what you have built, what you have learned, and how far you have progressed. Each time you cut comparison, you reclaim clarity. Each time you choose internal standards over external noise, you restore authority. This discipline compounds, it sharpens focus, it stabilizes confidence, it preserves energy for action. Before 2026, commit to releasing comparison. Guard your attention, protect your path, measure yourself only against who you were, not who someone else appears to be. Mentor or support others without judgment. Celebrate their progress without measuring it against your own. Comparison is a habit, and habits can be reshaped. By consistently turning attention inward, by defining success through your own lens, and by reducing exposure to unnecessary benchmarks, you gradually regain control of your mind. You reclaim the mental and emotional energy that comparison quietly steals each day. Before 2026, commit to cutting comparison. Notice when your thoughts drift toward envy or judgment. Pause, reflect, redirect attention to your own actions. Anchor self-worth in discipline, consistency, and alignment with purpose. Over time, subtle shifts appear. Focus sharpens, confidence deepens, energy becomes available for deliberate action. Decisions grow clearer, life begins aligning with your priorities instead of external measures. Cut comparison and you cut doubt. You cut distraction. You cut the silent erosion of energy that comes from measuring yourself against others. Step into 2026 grounded in your own path, strengthened by self-trust, clarity, and intentional action. Chapter 9. Cut living without clear standards. Standards shape a life. Without them, you drift. Each day becomes reactive instead of directed. You allow circumstances and other people to define what is acceptable, what matters, and where your time and energy go. Most people live without clearly defined standards. They settle for mediocrity. They tolerate excuses. They compromise priorities. Days blur into weeks and months without a framework to guide behavior, decisions, or effort. This absence of standards weakens personal power quietly. It shows up in decisions made too casually, goals only partially achieved, commitments broken because the bar was never firm, boundaries crossed because flexibility became default. Living without standards creates confusion, inconsistency, and frustration. You may sense it in missed opportunities, lingering dissatisfaction, or the feeling that effort exists without progress. This happens slowly, almost unnoticed, until inertia becomes heavy and undeniable. Standards are not rules imposed from outside. They are agreements you make with yourself about what is acceptable, what is required, and what is non-negotiable. They are quality benchmarks for actions, words, and decisions. Standards create clarity. They enforce discipline. They protect energy. Consider a person without standards. They promise tasks and fail to follow through. Distractions easily hijack focus. They tolerate behavior that undermines priorities. They bend under social pressure, fear, or convenience. Over time, this compounds into a life driven by circumstance instead of intention. Now consider a person with standards. They define focused work hours and protect them. They decide what level of quality is acceptable. They establish clear boundaries in relationships. They measure success by personal benchmarks, not approval or comparison. Their actions are deliberate. Their effort is consistent. Their confidence is grounded. Cutting the habit of living without standards begins with awareness. Observe routines, choices, and habits. Where do you act without clear expectations of quality or alignment? Where do you tolerate situations, behaviors, or commitments that contradict your values or goals? Identify patterns of compromise that weaken your authority. Once identified, implement clear and measurable standards. Define working hours, focus blocks, and personal time, and do not bend them for trivial reasons. Establish minimum quality expectations for tasks, communication, and commitments. Decide which boundaries in relationships, work, and social settings are non-negotiable. Set standards for physical and mental well-being, sleep, nutrition, movement, and mental discipline. Practical methods reinforce these standards. Journal 3 non-negotiable rules for the day and uphold them fully. Conduct a weekly review. Which standards were honored? Which were compromised, and why? Create personal accountability. Track actions against defined standards. Reflect on deviations and adjust. Use visualization to rehearse ideal execution, strengthening consistency through mental rehearsal. Living with standards is not rigidity. It is deliberate choice. It is clarity about what is valuable, acceptable, and aligned with purpose. Standards create freedom, not restriction. The boundaries you set preserve energy, sharpen focus, and elevate decision-making. Standards also shape how others interact with you. When expectations are clear, respect follows. When your presence communicates consistency and authority, influence emerges naturally. You stop wasting energy negotiating expectations or defending decisions. You operate from internal certainty. Daily reflection strengthens this discipline. Review each day honestly. Were standards upheld? Where did compromise appear? Reinforce commitment through action, not intention. The deepest impact of cutting the habit of living without standards is internal. Confusion fades, energy is conserved, confidence becomes stable and earned, decisions become deliberate rather than reactive. Life begins to follow purpose, not circumstance. Imagine your life before 2026, every day guided by clear personal standards, tasks completed to your benchmarks, boundaries enforced without apology, relationships navigated intentionally, decisions made with internal authority rather than external influence. Focus is preserved, energy protected, actions deliberate, presence commanding because it is consistent, intentional, and grounded. Cutting the habit of living without standards is challenging because it confronts long-held tolerance and convenience. It demands reflection, courage, and persistence. It requires redefining priorities, rejecting excuses, and enforcing consistency. The reward, however, is profound, a life of authority, clarity, and resilience. Before 2026, commit to your standards. Observe where compromise has become default. Define what is acceptable, what is required, and what is non-negotiable. Apply these standards daily, consistently, and intentionally. Every choice aligned with your standards strengthens internal authority. Every day of deliberate action builds momentum. Every boundary enforced preserves energy for what truly matters. Life becomes a reflection of intention rather than accident. The mind becomes a tool of focus, not a victim of distraction. Actions carry weight. Presence commands respect. Over time, living by standards compounds into transformation, empowering you to enter 2026 with clarity, strength, and unwavering internal authority. Chapter 10. Cut the fear of being alone. Fear of solitude is one of the quietest and most insidious drains on power. It appears in subtle ways. You remain in relationships that do not serve you. You accept compromises that erode your values. You agree to obligations you do not want, simply to avoid the discomfort of being alone. Hours are filled with noise, social activity, or distraction to escape facing yourself. Most people fear loneliness because it confronts them with their true self, exposing insecurity, doubt, and unresolved emotions. It forces awareness of compromises, delays, and surrendered control. Solitude magnifies truth, and truth can be uncomfortable. Fear of being alone, however, is self-imposed. It keeps you tethered to people, habits, and routines that do not serve growth. It compromises judgment, drains energy and fragments attention. It conditions dependence, making your emotional state contingent on others' presence, approval, or validation. To cut this fear, begin by reframing solitude. Solitude is not emptiness or punishment. It is a space of power where reflection, clarity, and self-mastery are cultivated. Consider your daily life. How often do you fill schedules with tasks, meetings, or social interactions simply to avoid being alone? How often do you suppress self-reflection because it is uncomfortable to face your thoughts, emotions, and priorities? These repeated patterns quietly erode autonomy and inner authority over time. Powerful people embrace solitude. They understand that being alone provides clarity of thought, freedom from external influence, and an unbroken connection to their values. They use solitude as a tool to sharpen decision-making, strengthen discipline, and cultivate self-reliance. Begin with small exercises. Schedule a daily block of uninterrupted alone time. Even 15 minutes can be transformative. During this time, remove distractions. No phone, no social media, no noise. Use the time for reflection, journaling, or meditation. Observe thoughts and emotions without judgment. Ask, where have I compromised my values out of fear of being alone? Note insights or patterns and consider corrective actions. Next, expand comfort with being alone. Take longer periods of intentional solitude. Engage in activities that challenge your comfort but do not require social presence. Solo walks, reflective writing, skill practice, or deep reading. Notice any discomfort that arises. Breathe through it. Observe it. Recognize that growth occurs in this space. Relationships are strengthened when you are comfortable alone. You no longer seek connection to fill voids. You connect from alignment, intention, and authenticity. Choices are based on value, not fear. Energy is preserved because well-being is no longer contingent on others. Cutting fear of being alone also requires addressing internal narratives. Many construct stories of inadequacy or dependence. I need someone to feel complete, or I cannot be productive alone. Challenge these narratives. Replace them with affirmations grounded in reality and self-respect. I am whole on my own. I can act decisively without external validation. My presence is enough. Daily practice reinforces this habit. Identify moments when fear drives social or professional choices. Pause before acting. Ask, am I doing this because I want to or because I fear being alone? Practice saying no to obligations that do not align with your purpose. At the end of each day, reflect on moments when solitude felt uncomfortable and note progress in embracing it. Visualization can strengthen this practice. Imagine stepping into solitude without anxiety. Picture yourself making decisions, taking action, and facing challenges alone, fully capable and undeterred. Your confidence grows with every moment of self-reliance. Your internal authority strengthens as you discover that presence, judgment, and clarity do not depend on anyone else. Being alone is the environment where self-mastery thrives. It is where emotional regulation, focus, and discipline are sharpened. It is where insight into patterns, habits, and priorities emerges. By confronting fear, you reclaim energy, authority, and mental clarity. Over time, the benefits compound. Attention becomes sharper, decision-making more deliberate, emotional stability stronger. Relationships improve because you engage intentionally, not out of dependence. Life aligns with your priorities rather than the presence, approval, or expectations of others. Before 2026, commit to cutting the fear of being alone. Recognize the habits, relationships, and mental patterns that perpetuate dependence. Practice solitude intentionally. Observe, reflect, and act without external influence. Embrace discomfort as a teacher, not a threat. Energy will be restored, focus will sharpen, authority will expand. You will move with deliberate purpose, guided by your own judgment and values. You will become someone capable of sustaining resilience, discipline, and clarity through every circumstance, independent of external validation. Fear of being alone is not eliminated overnight. It is dismantled gradually through awareness, intention, and repeated practice. Each deliberate moment of solitude, each choice made from alignment rather than fear, strengthens internal authority. It builds a foundation of confidence, clarity, and unshakable presence that carries you into 2026 fully empowered. Solitude is not emptiness. It is preparation. It is refinement. It is mastery. Cut the fear. Embrace the space. Reclaim the power that has always been within you. Now that we have explored the 10 things that quietly drain your power, it is time to take stock. Before 2026, you have the opportunity to reclaim what is yours: your energy, focus, confidence, and authority over your life. Every chapter of this audiobook was designed to illuminate subtle patterns that erode power, clarity, and control, from seeking external validation to over-explaining, from tolerating comfort that kills growth to fearing solitude. Each habit, thought, and relationship you maintain without awareness gradually siphons your energy. The impact is cumulative, silent, and often unnoticed until the weight of stagnation, distraction, and diminished presence becomes undeniable. Awareness is the first step. Recognizing what drains you, the habits, mindsets, people, comforts, and comparisons, is the foundation of change. Without recognition, nothing shifts. You cannot remove what you cannot see. By observing without judgment, you create space for deliberate action, intention, and growth. Action is the second step. Awareness alone is insufficient. It must be paired with deliberate choice. Each day offers moments to practice, choosing self-validation over external approval, pausing before reacting to emotion, protecting attention from distractions, speaking with clarity and authority, upholding standards, prioritizing growth over comfort, limiting comparison, cutting draining relationships, and embracing solitude. The practice of cutting what drains you is cumulative. Small conscious actions compound. Each choice strengthens focus, preserves energy, and reinforces internal authority. Over weeks and months, these actions become habits. Habits shape character. Character defines destiny. Reflection amplifies results. Daily or weekly reflection ensures accountability and keeps your trajectory aligned with your priorities, power, and purpose. Ask yourself, where did I hand away power today? Where did I act from alignment, clarity, and authority? Which habits, thoughts, or relationships are still draining me? This ongoing evaluation allows you to course correct before old patterns become entrenched again. Commitment is essential. Change is not instantaneous. You will encounter resistance, both internally and externally. Your mind will default to familiar habits. Friends, colleagues, and even family may challenge your new boundaries, standards, or practices. This is expected. Resistance is proof that you are doing the work that matters. Persistence ensures that the internal authority you cultivate becomes resilient and sustainable. Integration is the final step. The practices outlined here are interconnected, not isolated. Self-validation strengthens emotional control. Embracing discomfort reinforces standards. Limiting distractions sharpens focus. Cutting negative self-talk allows you to act intentionally rather than reactively. Reducing comparison frees energy for deliberate action. Cutting draining relationships preserves clarity. Embracing solitude cultivates insight and resilience. Together, these practices create a life led from intention rather than reaction. A life where your choices align with your values and priorities, where energy is reserved for what truly matters. A life where confidence, authority, and clarity are not borrowed from others, but cultivated from within. Before 2026, take a moment to visualize the person you intend to become. See yourself stepping into the new year lighter, stronger, and fully aligned. Imagine waking each day with clarity of purpose, making decisions confidently, acting decisively, protecting your energy, and living intentionally. Picture habits that once drained you replaced with patterns that empower. A life where every choice builds resilience, where relationships, work, and personal pursuits reflect deliberate alignment with your highest standards. Where your internal dialogue is constructive, supportive, and disciplined. Where solitude is embraced as a source of insight and strength rather than fear. This vision is attainable. It requires honesty, courage, and daily practice. It demands that you cut what drains you, not in a single dramatic act, but consistently, deliberately, and with awareness. Change is not an event, it is a process. A series of intentional choices compounded over time. Commit to cutting what no longer serves you. Stop seeking external validation. Stop reacting impulsively to emotion. Stop allowing distractions to fracture your focus. Stop over-explaining to satisfy others. Stop tolerating comfort that hinders growth. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop maintaining relationships that drain your energy. Stop tolerating negative self-talk. Stop living without clear standards. Stop fearing solitude. Every cut restores power. Every boundary reinforces authority. Every deliberate action preserves energy. Every moment of awareness strengthens clarity. Your life is the cumulative product of these daily, intentional choices. Step into 2026 with resolve. Do not carry old patterns, unnecessary burdens, or habits that drain you. Carry clarity, discipline, and energy. Carry the strength that comes from knowing yourself, defining your standards, and acting in alignment with your highest priorities. Transformation is possible. It is not theoretical. It is achievable through deliberate practice and awareness. By cutting what drains you, you reclaim your power, presence, and potential. Remember, power is not given. It is not borrowed. It is reclaimed. Before 2026, make the choice. Observe, act, integrate. Cut what no longer serves you. Step into clarity, strength, and authority. Live deliberately, live intentionally, live fully empowered. Your energy is yours, your focus is yours, your authority is yours.